Hello and welcome to episode 35 of the Lonely Knitter podcast. Hi. If you are a returning viewer, hi, welcome back. Thank you for coming back. I appreciate you. If you're a new viewer, hi, nice to meet you. My name is Laura and I'm a yarn festival director and a yarn dyer based in the most easterly town in England. I'm coming to you from Folk Yarn Studio, which is my workspace here in Suffolk, and I try to be here weekly to ramble about craftiness, life and other things. Before we get started, especially if you are new here, here is all the lowdown. So I will talk about my finished objects, my works in progress and other stuff, and then I go through a featured product from the shop, and then I talk about life stuff usually. You may notice that we are in a slightly different spot in the studio. That is just because it's very hot here and I didn't want to sit in the window today. I'm also recording on a slightly different camera, so I can see my face on the screen, and usually that means I end up looking at myself and not at the little dot that is the camera. I am doing my best to look at the dot, so hopefully it won't be really off-putting for anybody. You can find me on the internet as at Folk Yarn Studio, also as at East Anglia Yarn Festival, which is the annual yarn show that I run in March in Norwich in the UK. We're based at the Norfolk Showground Arena and it's a really fun weekend. Please do follow us over on Instagram and have a little look at the website for any information. You can also find me over on my Discord hangout. The Folk Yarn Studio Discord hangout is a fun, free, friendly, nice community space. The link to join will be below. It's just a really chill place to chat about your projects, chat about other people's projects, and yeah, talk in general about crafty life. I am making it my mission before the next week is out to get back in there a lot more myself. I've had a tough couple of weeks and I will talk about that at the end, but it has meant that I have retreated into myself a little bit, so I am going to make sure that I will be present over in the Discord group a little more over the next few weeks, definitely. It's a place I like to be, it's just when I get overwhelmed I sort of shut myself down completely. Over in the Discord group you can find the 5 minutes a day crafting challenge thread, channel. I think it's a channel in Discord. Can you see how much I do not know about the technology? So the 5 minutes a day crafting channel is just a fun little space where we get to share what we're working on then and there. If we want to talk about it, if we want to share, it's very chill. But I do also have some Makealongs over there. The first one I'm going to talk about is the Friends That Grimble Together Makealong. That is co-hosted with my lovely friend Helen of the Giddy Yarns podcast. Helen and I are making gnomes from the patterns designed by Sarah Schira. It's just gnomes, all the gnomes. If you do make a gnome, please do pop it into the channel in my Discord group to be in the running for prizes. I drew a prize last week for the midway point and we will have many more prizes at the end of the Makealong. Make sure that you don't just post them in mine, make sure you go over to Helen's and post them in hers too, because then you have a chance of winning prizes over there as well. The other Makealong that I have running at the moment is the Advents of Summer Makealong. So I had been talking about this from the beginning of the year and then I popped up a video to go on and on about it. Couple of weeks back. There might be 2 videos up there now, but basically if you have an advent calendar or an advent themed pattern or loads of scraps that could have been an advent calendar if you had 24 of them, like seriously anything, if you can tie it to advent, if it's a whip, if it's a new project, does not matter, finish it by the end of the Makealong, which I think is the 14th of September, it's halfway through September, then you can qualify for prizes. So just pop it into the thread in my Discord group. I need to say a little apology for not putting a video up on the channel last week. I have had some messages from folks asking if everything is okay. It is. Thank you so much. I am hanging in there. I actually did record a video to share with you guys last week. It's of my mood needle binder. I had set that up, but getting it edited, I just ended up not having an awful lot of time and it didn't happen. So I have that video stacked up and ready to go onto the channel, and then I will also have this video. So you should get a couple of videos in the next few days if I get around to editing them. Again, a little bit rubbish on that at the moment. There's also something else that I missed online. I haven't been very active on Instagram. It is my eternal goal to get back to being more active on social medias again. I think the overwhelm of recent months has made me go into myself a little bit. But there has been an announcement online of who the vendors for Glasgow School of Yarn will be this autumn, and I'm on that list. I'm very excited to be headed back to Glasgow. I didn't vend there last year, but I did go and help my lovely friend Jem on her stand. I was her driver for the weekend. But this year I am going to vend again. I am so grateful to have been accepted. I don't do many shows each year now, just because with the studio, running my own show, trying to keep my yarn dyeing as it is and things like that, I can't manage too many. So I did Waltham Abbey will show in January, which was the best fun, and I love that. It's a one-day show, relatively close, about 3 hours from me, but Glasgow obviously is 9.5 hours drive from me, so it's quite a trek. But I am so excited to be going back to Glasgow and seeing my lovely friends and all of the lovely people who run that show. It's a really wonderful show. So if you're looking for a yarn show to go to in the autumn and you fancy a Scotland trip, if you're not in Scotland already, go up there because Scotland is the best. But yeah, Glasgow is one of my favourite UK shows and I absolutely love it. It's just full of lovely people and it's run by the loveliest people and it has the best volunteers, and yeah, it's a really, really lovely show. So I would very much recommend it to absolutely anybody. And I hope that I get to see a few of you there. And finally, this feels like the longest intro in the entire world, but before I get into the podcast properly, I will just give you one last announcement, which is of a discount code. It's my birthday tomorrow and I haven't dyed anything up for it this year. I know in previous years I've done different colourways and things like that. I haven't done anything like that this year. It's all just been a bit manic and a bit crazy around here. But I have made a discount code for the shop to celebrate my birthday just because I thought it would be fun. So if you use the code birthday treat, so the words birthday treat, no spaces, all in capitals, my discount code will work for 18% off any orders over £35. So yeah, I'm 35 tomorrow. So any orders of £35 or more on my website, if you use the code birthday treat, all in capitals, you will get 18% off of your order. That is valid for 1 week. Hi, editing Laura from the future here. I made this video and then didn't get round to editing it for 4 solid days. So I have gone ahead and tweaked my birthday discount code. It is now valid through until the end of June. Bye! You can use it as many times as you would like, but it is only for one-off items and not for subscription purchases. So it won't work for things that are on a subscription basis. But yeah, it doesn't have a limit on the amount of times you can use it. You can use it as many times as you'd like within the period of time that it is active for. Okay, I think I'm finally done with all of the intro stuff. I'm going to put my knitting down so I can get my other knitting out. I have a finished object. I'm calling it a finished object. I was humming and hawing about whether or not I wanted it to be a finished object. It is. It is living in this amazing Gremlins bag. And it is my first completed Advents of Summer project. Now, we might argue over whether or not this has been completed, but it has. It is. They are. Let's just leave it at that. These are my Spin and Blether Advent socks. And I love them! So this was my first project for Advents of Summer. It was my first little project. So I was going with small projects and big projects. The idea being that the little ones can travel around. They are the same length. They just look really different there, but they are. Could travel around with me. So I have finished these. I had, before Advents of Summer Makealong, I think I had one cuff or like half a cuff. I can't even remember. But I hadn't gone past the cuffs. So since the Makealong has started, I have made this full pair of socks. Yay! And when I say we're calling them a finished object, whatever happens, that would be because I haven't put any heels in. I'm probably not going to put them in. I have the yarn to put the heels in, and I still have all of this yarn left because it goes around the stripes again. I haven't weighed it. I don't know how much is left of each one because I was not prepared. But my little girl really wants a pair as well, so I might well be putting this into long-term stash and making her a pair of socks. I have made tube socks. I was going to cut in heels. I don't have a problem with cutting in heels. Maybe in the future I will cut into them and put the heels in, but I really enjoyed the year before making tube socks and they really worked for me. And I think that that's what I'm going to keep again. So I'm putting one on because I'm sat on my footstool on the other side of the studio from where I normally am, and I think I can get my foot onto camera, and I did not bring a sock blocker with me because I'm not that organised. Here we go. So foot on camera. People pay a lot of money for this sometimes on the internet, apparently. I don't know. I haven't done that. But yeah, foot. So this is my foot in my sock. I can't see any wrinkling, can you? I mean, it will do. It will bunch up here as I move my foot around like there. Look, you can see it's bunched up. But in all honesty, that doesn't bother me. When they're so tight around my feet, there's no, not in an uncomfortable way, but there's no give. So I could wear shoes with those, absolutely no problem. They wouldn't slip about. The ones I made the year before didn't either. Look how good they look on my feet. I love it. So I'm not making heels. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I don't need to. It's my knitting, it's my rules, and I've decided these are done. So now these are coming home with me. They can finally come out of the project bag and come home. Yay, first finished project for Advents of Summer. I don't think I've even shared that in the Discord yet. And can you believe this? They really are finished because I even wove in my ends. There are no ends. No ends. I actually did it. This bag is going to keep the rest of the yarn in it with the minis, and it's going to go into my projects cupboard, which is this one there. It's also that one there and that one over there. It is going to go into the projects cupboard because my 8-year-old really wants a pair of matching socks. So if it goes in there, it's likely to happen one day. If I don't keep it in the project bag, I'll lose the mini. I'll lose one of the balls of self-stripe. It'll all go wrong. So these are coming home with me now. Yay. Okay, on to whips. The first whip is living in my also attractive IKEA bag, incredibly battered. This one even has a couple of holes in it. I said last episode that I wanted to start working on my Gnicole gnome, which is the pattern that I've chosen to line up with June in my Gnomes of Grimblewood plan, gnome plan. Well, technically I did start working on it. So yeah, technically I have started to work on it. This is a bit pathetic. I know it's a bit pathetic. I have cast on the hat, and I did this last night. So I've done like 3 rounds. It will happen. I'm not 100% sure it will happen in the month of June, but we'll try. Yeah, I've been working on something that I will talk about at the end, which has meant I haven't had an awful lot of knitting time. But I have started Gnicole. Gnicole has not gone off to live in a fancy project bag, even though I have fancy project bags. I have lots of nice project bags. Am I using them? No, I'm still using this IKEA bag. I just need to sort myself out. My next whip, I will do this one next because I have it here, is my next Advents of Summer project. Now, this is the Advent Fade from Castleview Yarns from last year, 2024. I absolutely love it. This was a 4 skein fade. I will get them out again, even though I know I have shown them to you before. 1, 2, 3. Oh no, it's all gone wrong. 4. There we go. 4 skein fade. And I have started on this jumper. So I said that I was going to use this Advent Fade for an Advents of Summer project and that it was going to be a Stripes by Andrea Mowry. It's not a Stripes. I have not made a Stripes, so I'm not making a Stripes. I am making a Tolsta. I've made a Tolsta before. I like the Tolsta. I know the pattern. I already own the pattern. It's knit on 5mm needles for the main part of the body, so it's going pretty speedily. I love this gauge with this yarn. I've made a Tolsta in this base, but in my own hand-dyed colourways before for my daughter, and I actually picked it up the other day and thought, I want one of those. And I'm sure the Stripes by Andrea Mowry is absolutely lovely too, but because this gauge I know will get me a nice size jumper out of 4 skeins, I went with the Tolsta. So this is the Tolsta by Crea, and because it's a pattern I've made before, I know that it is nice and simple and I can just pick it up whenever I want to. So I haven't really been taking anything else around with me the last couple of days. It's just been this because I haven't had an awful lot of knitting time, but because it's such a chill pattern to work on, I don't feel like it's too complicated to carry about with me. So what I have done is I have cast on with the first colour and done the rib and then 1 round of the neck, like the body, 1 round of the body with my first colour. Then I switched to the second colour, and on this side you can see that I have done 6, I don't know if you will be able to see, but I've done 6 rounds per stripe, and that's what I'm going to do throughout the entire sweater, is 6 rounds per stripe and go cycle through the colours 1 to 4, 1 to 4, 1 to 4. I did think, should I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, but I would run out of colours 2 and 3 a lot quicker than 1 and 4, and I want to get the most out of the yarn, and actually I quite like having a really contrasting stripe here between 4 and 1. I did the shaping at the neck with all the short rows in colour 2, so I have used a bit more of colour 2 than the others, but I wanted it to line up on that side, so you know what you're going to do. So yeah, this is where we are so far. I am nearly finished with the raglan increases, and then I'll be splitting for the sleeves. I say I'm nearly finished. I think I am, because it's quite a wide... I'm going to bump the microphone. we're coming on down. There's not that many more increase rounds until I'm going to be splitting for the sleeves. I still don't know how long I'm going to make it and how long I'm going to make the sleeves. I'm probably not going to go for short sleeves. I think I would like sleeves to come down to like elbow length. So I'm probably going to get to sleeve splitting and come down a little way and then start working a little bit on the sleeves and just monitor what I have yarn wise. I'm not sure how we're going to do this, but it's going to happen. I have most of my stitch markers on this are just round ones with beads over. They're just like the jump rings that have had a bead put over the join so that they don't get snaggy. So yeah, snagless rings. I think they were from All Wool That Ends Wool. I think I bought them a couple of years ago at Summer Wool Show, I think. And then I have one of these, and there's a few different people that make these like gummy bear stitch markers, but this one was made by my little girl because she makes them sometimes and sells them. So I'm making the size 3 in this, which I'm hoping should fit absolutely fine. I don't want a huge amount of ease because I would like to wear it underneath dungarees and I don't want it to be all flapping out the sides, so I'm not going for a huge amount of ease on this one. I'm knitting it on Chowgoo needles because I knit everything on Chowgoo needles and it is still living in the organza bag that the advent actually came in, so I haven't put it into a project bag either. And I was going to put it into like a Christmassy project bag, but I haven't, and it's fine. I've just been shoving this into my backpack wherever I go, and yeah, it's only been a couple of days to be fair, but I can see this having a lot of progress on it in the next few days because it's just knitting and easy and I'm not having to think about stitch patterns and stuff like that, so it's what I need right now. I think I'm going to earn myself a reputation as somebody who only wants to knit simple things at the moment, and that is boring for a lot of people I know. I'm so sorry, but my brain is just not ready for anything else at the moment. I forgot stash enhancement. I sat here thinking, I don't have any stash enhancement. There's no stash enhancement. There is a little bit of stash enhancement because if you remember from my last episode, June is my birthday month and I do a swap with my lovely friends. I have a better picture. I have a picture. These are all of the minis that have come to me since the last time I showed the swap on the podcast. And I also got these really cute Emma Ball sticky notes, sorry for the glare, but they're gnomes, so now I can start using them because I've shown you. But my stash enhancement is the continued opening of these little scrappy minis from my Scrappy Friends swap that we do every year for our June babies swap. Tomorrow I get to open my presents. I'm very excited. Okay, that's the finished objects and the whips, so onto the plans. Now, I plan every week to do lots of different things. Do I do them? Most likely not. This week my plan is to finish last month's squares on the Sweet Shop blanket. I did have some progress, so really I could have had them in whips, but I had some progress right after recording my last video and then haven't come back to it. So yeah, I've been put it in plans instead. I need to pick that back up, and I now have my June mini skeins. Everyone's We Got This minis have posted out. My mini skein club for June has all posted out. So I have mine. I'm not going to show them to you this time just in case anyone hasn't received them yet, but I have those, so as soon as I finish with the May ones I can put the June ones in. So I would like to catch up on that again, and I would like to have by the end of June a completely up-to-date blanket. That's the only plan I'm going to put in place. I'm not casting anything else on. I've had some cast-ons over this last couple of weeks and I just want to work on the things that I've got. Okay, my next thing that I'm going on to is the featured product for this week, and I'm going to show you my one. I am talking about the Mood scissor case. So I have these in stock over on the website. They are a leather needle case that close with a snap, and I love them. I feel like they are really good quality, really sturdy. I've had a few different needle cases in the past that have come undone, or I have actually managed to poke my scissors actually through the case before, which is probably the opposite of what is meant to happen. So I like that this one is super, super sturdy. Now, I know that this is not how you're meant to use them. You're meant to use them, I believe, with a big set of scissors. You put them in, they stick out all the way up here, and then you can put the snap bit through what will be quite a large gap there because it's big scissors. It's not how I use mine because I use little scissors most of the time, or I want to carry around little scissors. So I put my little scissors inside and they sit really nicely like that. And then I pop the top fastener bit through one of the finger holes and I snap it. I know, it's not how you're meant to use them and it pushes this snap a little off center, but it works for me. I also, you won't have seen this yet because I've set up my mood needle binder now on a video which I have filmed and I want to share but haven't got around to editing because I am slow sometimes. But I have also used one of the straps that come with the pages that I'm not taking out at the moment because I'm using them in the binder, and I put that through the centre bit of the binder and I put it through the other side of my scissors. So when I snap that in place, they're actually held inside my needle binder. So because I have the binder and the page, I have that spare strap and I attach it in there and then they sit inside. But I mean, you could just as easily snap them to that ring there. I just like having this extra separate one so this doesn't ever come off when I take my scissors off. So that is the feature product that I was going to talk about today. I have it in the whiskey, which is the colour that I use for my binder, but I also hold it in the black as well. So if you have the black set, or if you just like the black and you don't have any of the other stuff, but you wanted a scissor holder, then yeah, I have both. Okay, on to watching and reading. For watching, I have been watching Buffy still, very slowly, because I have not had an awful lot of time to sit and watch anything, and I am trying to focus on it a little bit more than I usually would when I have something in the background when I am working. Just because I want to be 100% on the 24 episodes that I have chosen to go in with the episode watch along of my favourite 24 episodes of Buffy during my Advent calendar, because this year's Advent is based on Buffy. So I am currently on season 2, episode 6, and I have watched episode 6 like 3 times, but I keep having to restart from the beginning because I get distracted halfway through because I'm doing something else and realise that I haven't actually been watching the episode. The other thing that I have really gotten into this week especially is the Buckleys. So James Buckley, who is Jay from The Inbetweeners, if you haven't watched The Inbetweeners, it's like a core part of my life, like or most people my age's life, right? That you watch The Inbetweeners and you make references and you call people names based on the TV show, which I'm not going to say on this channel because I am relatively clean with the language on this channel, even if I'm not always in real life. But yeah, the YouTube channel is At Home with the Buckleys, and he is an actor. She is his wife. I don't actually know an awful lot about Claire, James's wife, mainly because they haven't shared an awful lot on their podcast, but they're just funny and normal and silly and make jokes. And I think I've been watching too much news and getting very worried all the time. And, you know, I was watching PMQs on YouTube every week, Prime Minister's Questions every week on Wednesdays on YouTube when that came out live. And like, the world is a scary place right now. And yeah, I was finding it quite depressing. I can go into a bit of a brain swirl about stuff and get very overwhelmed about things that I can't do anything about, which is silly. And I'm not going to do it anymore, except I'm sure I will. But there we go. Anyway, I would really recommend the Buckleys podcast, which I think they have it on Spotify as well, but I've just been having it on YouTube. Again, I like it because I don't have to watch it. Sometimes it is quite fun to look at the screen and see them laughing and how they sit and chat and things like that. But most of the time, I just like to listen while I'm working, and it has cheered me up no end. I think I'm on like episode 12. And I've just had it on the last like 2-3 days at the studio while I've been dyeing up clubs and packing up clubs and getting work done. And everything's just been so for ages. And they just make me laugh. Yeah, I think sometimes I just have to know how much I can handle. I find that if I laugh quite a lot, I can get through anything. I just need to be able to laugh. So if you need a good laugh, I would recommend the Buckleys. Reading. Now, I did say before that I would not talk about a book unless I had finished it or started it. So I started a book. I haven't finished it yet, but I have started one. I haven't finished any of the others. Don't worry, they're still there. If I decide that I'm not going to finish a book and I'm just going to bin it right off, I will tell you about that too. But I have started a new audiobook because I had finished my last one. The audiobook I chose, in fact, I'm going to read out the title because it's long. Jimmy Carr, Before and Laughter. A life-changing book. I actually am loving it. I am more than halfway through this audiobook. I think it's only about 6 hours long and it's brilliant. It is actually making me laugh out loud. It's full of so much in terms of thoughtfulness. Now, I've seen clips online of Jimmy Carr and I have seen Jimmy Carr quite a few times. He tours like a madman. I know the tax stuff. Don't talk to me about the tax stuff. Don't cancel me because I happened to read a book by a man who happened to evade tax, and actually what he did was totally legal. It was just immoral. However, that's nothing to do with me. I pay my taxes. He's funny. I know some people who might not be their cup of tea. I find him funny and I need to laugh right now. His book is actually really insightful and he calls it a self-help book. It's probably one of the best self-help style books that I've ever listened to or read. I'm shocked by that. I'm sure you will be too. Yeah, he is really insightful in terms of, he talks about depression and anxiety and him having panic attacks and all these other things. And for me, that's been really helpful to hear. Just really has made me feel like I can relate to that. And it's crazy, isn't it, how you can relate to people who you really have nothing in common with at all, but we all have brains. I don't know what I'm trying to say. I'm just whittering on now. It's good so far. I like it, but then I went down a Buckleys podcast rabbit hole and stopped listening to it, so I need to get back to it. But I really like the Buckleys. Just one long ad for the Buckleys podcast. I have also watched the most recent episode of Giddy Yarns. That is Helen from Giddy Yarns. The most recent 2 episodes, actually. I think I was a little bit behind. I really like Helen's podcast. It just makes me feel like I'm sitting and having a chat with my friends, and I love that. I need to get back to some of my other friends' podcasts as well. Top of the list is my lovely friend Hannah from The Corner of Craft. Chromatic Yarns just has the best sort of chatty style as well. It's another one I'd really recommend. I mean, there's loads. I don't want to pick and choose a few and not others. Franny G Makes has at least 1 or 2 episodes that I want to watch that I am behind on. My friend Sharon, I haven't had a chance on her podcast. There are so many podcasts. I'm not going to get into how many podcasts I haven't watched. Ooh. Anyone else have run and fly dungarees and the straps loosen themselves all the time? It's really annoying. Okay, I think that was all of those things. I'm on to life. Oh my gosh, life has lifed hard. I'm going to try and keep it short because, well, we all know that's a problem for me. Where shall we begin? Okay, here we go. This is where we'll begin. The UK has entered a heat wave. I can't cope. I don't like it, guys. I don't like it. I can't cope. I hate heat. I hate it. I like to be cold. Make me cold. I will put on a jumper. I will put on a shawl. I will wear blankets. I will put thermal socks on because I have a real problem with keeping my feet warm. I will put my feet on hot water bottles. It's fine. I'll wear gloves. I'll wear hand warmers. I will put whatever I need to on my body to warm it up. But when it gets ridiculously hot, can I cool myself down? No, I can't. No, I can't. There are fans everywhere. I don't know what my electric bill is going to be. I even have this back out. In fact, it's still not fully charged. I don't know when it will be fully charged. I don't care. My friend Flick got me to get one of these. I can't put it on right now because it will interfere with my mic. But it is a neck fan. Today is a Thursday. I am going to go to my kids' swimming lessons after this and sit in the world's hottest spectator area of the swimming pool. I hate it. I hate it. You sit there and it is just humid and it's like literally the heat wave hits you as you walk in and you sweat so much within the first 5 minutes your makeup's completely off the face if you're wearing makeup. There's no point in wearing makeup one bit. Yeah, the heat. I can't take it. I know. People say, oh, don't moan. We get about 3 days. It's England. Come on, be happy for the heat. No. I'm not happy for the heat. I've talked about this before. I'll be happy in the cold. So yeah, in short, it's hot here. So, other life stuff. I hinted to a big family project quite a few times, and now that family project is done and has been given. I'm not going to show it to you because it's not just mine, and I don't know if I should be sharing it on the internet. I just took up a lot of my evening knitting time, which meant that I didn't have an awful lot to show on the podcast. In terms of other things, I'm just feeling very overwhelmed, and it's not anyone's fault at all. It's just life in general. I have things that I won't share on the podcast because they're not my things. There's a lot going on that isn't my goings on, but I'm just feeling very, I don't know, sometimes life's a lot, and I don't need anyone to do anything about that. I have the most amazing, lovely, wonderful family, but sometimes if I'm not so present online, it's just because I think when things get so big, you just try and manage the bits that you can manage, the things that you have direct control over. My skein twister has broken. That is a piece of equipment that I use to twist yarn and I need it, but I have another one coming. I have ordered a new one, which was a big business expense that I was not planning for right now. But hey, it's done now and hopefully I'll have a reliable bit of kit. But in the meantime, one of my lovely friends is sending me hers, which is meant to be coming tomorrow to use so that I'm not slowing down, which is brilliant. And I'm so grateful that I have such lovely friends as well as such lovely family. See, I have lovely people in my life all round. My mum is now helping officially. I don't actually know if I have told her I'm going to say this on the podcast, but my mum is now officially helping with my emails. So if you email me for any reason through the contact form on the website or anything like that, there is a chance that you will get an email back from my mum. But she will let me know if there's anything that I need to get back to quickly that I might have missed, and she's just going to help me to organise up a little bit. My mum is one of those people that organisation is like her magic. She can do it. I can't do it. She can do it. So yeah, I am very, very lucky to have that help. So I think that's going to be a big thing in terms of helping me to feel less like I am buried, because yeah, it's an admin task that my ADHD brain does not cope well with. I have been escaping to hunt sea glass quite a bit over the last couple of weeks, both with my children and on my own. Last night, to be fair, actually only once on my own. Last night, once my kids had gone to bed, which was relatively early because with the heat, I think it's wiping them out because they're young and they're in primary school and everything's exhausting. Last night, I got both of them into bed, and I was boiling. I was literally boiling, and I wanted to take the dog out for a walk, and I turned around to Chris and I just went, it would be nice at the beach right now. It would be lovely at the beach. It was still light. It's light until like 10. Maybe a bit later, and he just went, why don't you go to the beach? And you can't take dogs onto all of Lowestoft Beach, and I don't actually know where the cut-off areas are for dogs on our beach in the town we're in, but I know that Coulston Beach, which is just up the road, I know where the dog part is for that one. And yeah, last night I just went to the beach on my own with my dog and walked, took my shoes off and just walked up and down. I found like 6 bits of sea glass, and my dog had a great time, and it was lovely. So yeah, I've been escaping for a bit of quiet and brain peace. And plants are coming into my life again. They're probably going to all die. I have one here that came into my life today. This is not the only plant. I don't know what this is. Are there any plant people out there who know what this is? If there are, could you let me know? I don't know what it is. It's a succulent, apparently, because that's what the label said. It came from M&S. It was £6. I don't know if that's a good price. But I have the plant in a little pot, and then it came with a pot. So, and I like the pot. And I feel like a plant and a pot for £6, it's not that bad, is it? I don't know. What is good? I might have been absolutely scammed. This always happens whenever I feel like I'm not really in control of things. I usually end up with plants, and then I kill them all. But I haven't had like a big plant phase since I've been taking my ADHD medication. I went onto my ADHD meds about 1.5 years ago. So maybe these ones have a chance at life. I'll put in some clips of me with some of the other plants, or pictures that I took of some of the other plants that have come to live with me. I have a lot of plants now. Let's see what happens. My kids are a little bit invested this time, so they might make sure they stay alive. I don't know, maybe I will. I think it's a control thing. I think when I feel like there's a lot of stuff happening in my life that I can't control, I go, well, I can grow stuff, right? I will get these, and then they are things in my life that are working because it's easy, but it's not that easy. And yeah, I don't know. I think that's might be what it is, because every time I have a little bit of a point in my life, I then go, plants. I like plants. I want them to live. I like the idea of plants. I am an irresponsible plant owner. So plants, there are many plants. This one's coming home today. Oh, last thing is, tomorrow is my birthday and I have booked a lesson. Last year on my birthday, I did a trial motorbike lesson, or a lesson on a 125, and it was just like an intro to 125 bikes, and I loved it so much. And then I took my CBT, and then I rented a 125 for a month and loved it, and then did all my big bike lessons, and then took my full bike test on September 13th last year. So June 20th to September 13th last year, I learnt to ride a motorbike, and I now ride a Royal Enfield Interceptor, and I love it, and the sense of freedom is wonderful, and it is one of the best things I've ever done. So I thought I would like to start a bit of a trend. So last year I did a lesson, learnt a new thing on my birthday, or gave myself a try at something new on my birthday, and I'm doing the same thing this year. Paddleboarding. I know they look like idiots. I've been on a boat and gone past a paddleboarder. I know. Sorry if you're a paddleboarder and actually you think it looks cool. Nah, most of the time people are like, Actually, do you know what? It looks peaceful. You do look like you're having a nice time. I just think I'm going to be the sort of person that falls off all the time. But then I thought, give it a go. I live right by Alton Broad. Not right by. I don't live by the water because that would be really expensive. I live in Alton, which is a few minutes drive from Alton Broad. I thought it would be cool. There's a guy who apparently does lessons whenever, and you just meet him in the car park at Alton Broad, and he has all the stuff, and he will do you a beginner's safety, all the training, all the thing. It's a 2-hour lesson. So on my birthday, tomorrow in the afternoon, I am having a 2-hour paddleboarding lesson, 1 till 3. If you're around, come and have a laugh. No, I'm joking. Please don't come and laugh at me. Come and join me if you want, but don't laugh. Every year on my birthday, I am going to try and give myself a little bit of time off on that day, and I am going to book a lesson, a new thing, a skill, a hobby, a try at something that I have never tried before. And tomorrow it's paddleboarding. I am not an outdoors person. I bet there's loads of leeches in Alton Broad. Is there pike in Alton Broad? I don't want to... But hey, I'm going to push myself out of my comfort zone and do something new tomorrow. If you've got all the way to the end of this podcast, as I'm going out on Alton Broad, fingers crossed it's not a high winds, really wavy day tomorrow, but I'm sure there is an emoji of waves, like water, waves. So if there is, leave me a waves emoji in the hope that that will not bring on the waves and there'll be less waves and I will not end up loads of times falling off a paddleboard in Alton Broad in front of lots of strangers. Thank you so much, as always, for making me so much less of a lonely knitter.